right, some Democratic New York lawmakers are pushing a bill now that would ban ICE and other law enforcement officers from wearing masks or any kind of face coverings while carrying out raids. The move to demask comes as attacks on ICE personnel have increased 830% compared to last year. Let's bring in Lydia Moynihan, New York Post financial correspondent, and Noah Rothman, senior writer for National Review magazine. Thanks, guys, for being here on set. Great to be with you. Lydia, take a listen to this. This is New York's Attorney General talking about this issue in a pretty rare interview.
New York State and other Democratic states cooperate with ICE when it comes to criminal convictions, but when it comes to innocent individuals who serve as your nanny, who clean your home, individuals who are our neighbors, individuals who unfortunately are just trying to make ends meet.
Both of these individuals had multiple arrests after deportation orders. Why are those not opportunities?
It's important that we make a distinction. Unfortunately, what we are seeing is mass ICE agents without any insignia, without any identification, kidnapping innocent individuals that both you and I know.
All right, so I mean, the Attorney General there saying, accusing ICE agents of kidnapping people off the streets.
And that's on the heels of an off-duty agent getting targeted and attacked. And, it's very clear in these ultra left-wing cities like in New York or LA, they're taking a lot of umbrage with Trump's policies. And yet to go after the individual ICE agents, I mean, that'd be like going after a police officer for arresting somebody for a speeding ticket, right? They're just the boots on the ground. And I know Trump is trying to bring on an extra 10,000 officers. I've got to think people are going to be very cautious and concerned about doing this kind of job when they are under attack at this rate. So for the AG to basically not defend these officers and go after them instead, it is not something you expect from law enforcement.
What do you think? Does the rubber hit the road when ICE is fully activated here in New York?
Yeah, it very well may. Some of these attacks on ICE agents, CBP agents, have been really disturbing. There were a couple incidents earlier this month in Texas in which up to 10, maybe 12 individuals engaged in a tactically adroit ambush of a ICE facility, hit an officer in the neck with a bullet. These are not harassment efforts. These are real assaults on law enforcement. The Trump administration has a conundrum, however. They have to keep their officers safe. They have to keep their officers safe while they're enforcing the law. Democrats, however, have evidence in the polling to suggest that the public is getting a little nervous with the deportation issue. Quinnipiac, NPR Marist, a couple of others have shown that the majority of the public are a little leery about the deportation issue, and perhaps Democrats believe that they have solid ground to say Americans want to see their law enforcement agents be visible, identify themselves, represent the federal government or the state. So Democrats think that they have room to run here. Nevertheless, their agitation is getting people assaulted. Yeah. Republicans should say, whatever happened to stochastic terrorism? Whatever happened to incitement? Whatever happened to the notion that whatever comes out of my mouth is incitement and gets people to riot? But you can say whatever you want, even if it results in attacks on law enforcement. Where's the standard that you hold me to that you're going to hold yourselves to?
And it's wild. I mean, 5 years ago, it was mandated that everyone wore masks. And some of these masks that the officers are wearing look very similar to what was worn during COVID.
There is, though, to be fair, there is concern on the flip side, right? People who are pro-law enforcement, who want to see ICE agents not attacked, say, if they are completely unidentifiable as law enforcement officers, you're up in the ante that somebody they're trying to take into custody is going to try and assault them.
Yeah, I mean, I think they are identifiable. If you look at most of these images and the videos that have been released, part of their face is covered. They're wearing a gaiter, which frankly looks like something that people were forced to wear during COVID. And they have other identifiable things on their body that show that they're ICE agents, that show that they're law enforcement.
It takes it to a new level when a guy shot off duty in the throat and is fighting for his own life. Last comment on that.
Yeah, you would think as much. And certainly if we had a civic consensus in this country that Democrats would abide by, as well as Republicans, they would say, listen, we got to turn down the heat. This is too hot. It doesn't seem like anybody's more interested in that than seeking and achieving political advantage, which is a sad commentary.
Okay. More to come. Thank you, Noah. Thank you
both.
Nice to see you again.
Great to have both of you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.